Recapitulate my cousin's boyfriends, Piwe and Cabello, right? My cousin's boyfriend, C. Piwe and Cabello. All the other guys, they just went to their respective homes where they stayed, right? And then they left us. They could not kappa us all the way home because we could not be seen coming back home to Bashimani. So they went to a distance enough from the house to be safe, but also close enough to where this chick stayed so as to have basically seen us off. But we could not be seen because it was already like starting to, like the sun was already starting to set. We could not be seen. Type establishment thing. So bus cap up to a certain point. Yeah, type establishment thing. Yo. And then fine. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. It was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting you. And then my cousin is out here making out with her boyfriend to say goodbye, and then who's this? Kimang set up on Patricia and Piwe making out to say goodbye. And I'm just standing here with this one really tall guy, and we're just watching them make out, and I'm so shy, and this guy also appeared to be somewhat shy. Whatever they're doing. And then everybody hugs each other and they go home. So you can understand Uti. Remember what I said about my cousin's boyfriend, the first one, Ole Wakolwe. He looked at me and he was like, yo, she's grown. And then my cousin was like, hi. Okay, yeah, well, when we got home, my cousin pulls me to the side. And is like, I have something to tell you, but it's a secret. I had to get you alone. Patricia Aska, right? And I'm like, pray tell. Like, what you gotta say, girl? What you gotta say? And then she's like, Piwe likes you, like, a lot. And yeah, okay. First she tells me, she says to me that Piwe likes you a lot. But so too does Cabello. That's why Cabello came with. That's why I decided who kappa. Like, yeah, that's why he decided to kappa us two. Because he wanted to holler at you. So basically both Piwe and Cabello like you. And I was like, but Piwe is dating Patricia. And I said that but Piwe is dating Patricia because of the fact that I liked him. Out of all the guys, I liked Piwe. Out of all the guys, I liked Piwe. But Piwe belonged to, well, no, Piwe was not dating Patricia. But Patricia and Piwe had made out quite a lot in the past, and they kept kissing and whatnot. And Piwe was willing to accommodate this thing. And yeah, but then I rocked up, and herein lies the exact same thing that happened. Well, that happens when a new person comes into the room, when a new girl comes into the classroom. Guys stop having appreciation for whatever they've been dealing with all this time, and then they start noticing some other person. And imagine at that stage, I'm like, what? 15. Going on 16. I'm 15 going on 16. 15 going on 16, right? Yeah, maybe I'm 16, I don't know, but it's my 16th year of life. And listen, this the very thing that is pursuing me today, where a guy is busy messing with some other chick. He's messing with some other chick. And then you come into the picture and he's like, listen, I want you. And now you're like, I kind of like you too. And then you start to say to yourself, whoops, remember I told you, my cousin and I were best friends. My cousin was the cousin of that other chick. She had not been that tight with her, but because her boyfriend stayed in Spruitview, and that's the house, yes, Piwe was in Leondale. Because her boyfriend stayed in Spruitview one holiday, she then decided that we're gonna visit Patricia because she was close to Spruitview, and my cousin wanted to just hang out with her boyfriend all holiday long. So she basically exploited how close Patricia lived to her boyfriend by conveniently making a decision one holiday to visit Patricia. With Patricia, we were not that close with her. So essentially, number one to my cousin was me. I was her favorite. I was her darling. And Patricia came number two. She was distant in a way that my cousin evidenced by basically telling me, you're both my cousins, but you're more cousin to me than she is. You're my girl. You're the one that I love. And I want what's best for you. And I'm just gonna put all of the things that have been tabled before you and let you know that Piwe wants you, but so too does Cabello. Keta girl, it's up to you. As if though I'm in any position, you're Keta. If I didn't have feelings for anybody at that particular moment, I wouldn't have catered, right? But like when my cousin told me that Kimang set up this oak, when she told me as Piwe liked me, I was like, I liked it like proper. I can't say that it was love at first sight, but I liked him. and he paid a lot of attention to me. I figured that maybe the reason why he was paying so much attention to me was because I was so shy and so he was being a host or whatever. But it turned out it was because he actually had a crush on me. So he liked me and immediately was like, I like her more than I like Patricia. What decided he wants me. Patricia and busy making out with her all up in my grill. Patricia, my cousin and my friend. And he was like, I like you. I like your cousin. He was like, who's your cousin? I like her. Like, let her know that I want her. And if she wants me, like, proper. Yeah, so what? Are we just gonna, like, stab Patricia in the back? What's going on? Yeah, listen, I've done my time. And I'm now being pursued by the sins of the past. I've done my time where I out here comprehensively disregarded a woman in close proximity to me and her feelings and how she would eventually just be made to look like a bye because I had feelings for a guy and I can't help it. Hey, I was just singing him Pinaele, Jasmine Sullivan. If I could forget him, oh I would, please believe me. And I know that I should throw the towel in, but baby it's not that easy. Oh cause you treat me so much better than him. And if I was sane, there'd be no competition. That literally happened. Though I am in love with someone else. Hey, I hurt people. I'm paying for the crimes I committed, I believe. Long ago. I done made those mistakes. I did it. I used to be selfish. Not me. I put my heart above everything and I met somebody else's man and I was like, if he wants me, I'm taking it, and I took it. I had never dated. And my first experiences in this regard, I committed infractions against individuals. I'd never kissed. I'd never, of course, had sex. And the first time I experimented with any such things, I was out just singing, if I could forget him, I would, please believe me. I know that I should throw the towel in, but baby it's not that easy. Cause you treat me so much better than him. If I was sane, there'd be no competition. I'm in love. Yeah, I can justify. I get another heart wants what the heart wants. The heart wants what the heart wants. The heart wants. Guys, in your heart wants what your heart wants. Until you go to your heart wants not your heart wants. Until you go to hell. If I had passed away at that stage as a teenager, I would have gone to hell and paid for that. I kid you not. Never shut up. Tolaus. Anyway, mamelang ne. Tshwantse le qoqelwe ditorinyana tse ngata mona na mo strateng tse tlo go fang di goosebumps. Di goosebumps, mamelang. Alright. Ke mo ka gaba o busy mona na. Ka ke Sphiwe ke re ke mo file lebitso Sphiwe. Sphiwe wa batho. Wa batho eng ile rubbish. If yeah, character flow leyo. I should have seen ukuthi lenja lezo ngilandela bloody tunya after we broke up. Anyway, whatever, mamela. Listen, alright. So here it is that my cousin tells me that same night that Sphiwe likes you, but so too does Cabello. Well, Sphiwe is out hanging. We're on holiday, and holiday and it'll last a week, 2 weeks. Well, we're hanging out, these guys. And Patricia, every time we visit these guys, is always just going to be hanging out. Patricia's always going to be hanging out with Sphiwe. So at this point, like I went to bed with like a schmuck on my face. Like I went to bed that night so happy because my cousin told me that sweet guy that was so nice to me, that was so cute, with the dimples on my that he liked me, that he thought I was beautiful. And even though I was betraying Patricia in my heart, I was so happy. I was so happy. Yes, like I was happy. And I mean, I let my heart run. I let my mind just do its rounds. Where it is that I was thinking about Sphiwe in that fashion. And so the next day, when we saw that, because we just kept hanging out with them. We just kept hanging out with them, right? The next day, when we went back, he was there, and like we just kept but Patricia was all up in his grill. And Cabello, even though he would not have visited every single day, he visited every single day. And because Patricia was taken, because Patricia was busy with Spiwe and my cousin was busy with her boyfriend, Jabu, right? And then we were still hanging out with a whole bunch of guys, like just a crew, but then like they were the girlfriends. Yeah, okay, listen, I was like a third wheeler. I was just there as a single girl. I was there as a single girl. I missed a whole chunk of guys, one of the guys of which has essentially laid claim to me and has said, I want her, let me pursue. Here, please. Nyamfuna mina. Nyamfuna. I want her. Like, I want her. So please, guys, like everybody else, back off. So he chatted with me, asking, so where do you go to school? He was in matric as well, just like with he was 19 though, whereas Pure was 18, and they were both in matric. And he would ask me, where do you go to school? What subjects do you do? Basically, whatever questions you'd be asking a high school chick, right? And I would ask him the same thing. Nah, I go to Sir John. These are my subjects. Yeah, this is what I do. Whatever you be talking about when you're children, all right? And then I asked him, so what are you doing next year when you matriculate? What are you gonna do? What fish paste? I said, yeah, it was close. Yeah, I was 16. I was 16 because it was towards was I 16 or 15? Listen, I think I was 15 because they matriculated, and the next year was when I dated Spiwe. And when I dated him, he was already out of I get it when they released matric results. All I know is that when the matric results of Spiwe came out, I found out and we rejoiced together because he had passed. So then matric results, seeing as they released them got December. Yeah, it was grade 10. It was grade 10. No, they released in December. It was definitely grade 10. It wasn't grade 9. Yeah, it was definitely grade 10. Yeah, it was definitely grade 10. I was 16. Was I 16? Listen, whatever. Because, like I said, I celebrated the results of matric. And I found, because they were, you know how they released matric results in the newspaper in this country. They were in matric and we were in grade 10. Yeah, I was in grade 10. Definitely grade 10. Definitely grade 10. Anyway, whatever. Listen, I keep on meandering. My wig look clearly evidencing we lost my age. Listen, lost my. This guy was trying to holler at me, his friend, and I mean, I had never dated, and I had made a determination that I'm gonna start dating at the age of 16. I was 16, so I was like, okay, whatever. Clearly, there's pressure that I must date. I liked Spiwe, but Kabelo was hollering, and he was single, and he was tall, and I'm tall, so apparently he was tall and I'm tall, and apparently and he was the one that was kaparing us back home every time we went back home. It was like basically the three of us. It was my cousin, me, and Kabelo. It was my cousin, me, and Patricia, and then Kabelo, Jabu, and Sizwe. They were always the ones buying kapa back, even though we hung out with the whole crew of guys. So basically it was just like by default assumed that I'm just gonna date Kabelo. And because I was like, I wanted to date and I've never kissed, I literally allowed Kabelo to holler at me even though I had no feelings for him. I did not like Kabelo. I did not like him, but he liked me and he liked me a lot. And Kimang's Piwe told, what is this? My cousin, I told my cousin that, goodness, listen, I like him too. When she told me that night that Piwe likes me. And then my cousin here, Big Mouth, decides to go and tell, who do you call this guy Spiwe? That I told Karabo that you like her and she likes you too. And then Spiwe was like, what? For real? For real? For real? And so my cousin and Spiwe started talking alone. And Spiwe was like, but like, Kabelo likes your cousin. Spiwe is not even thinking Patricia. Spiwe is not even thinking what's up with Patricia. He's thinking rather, my boy is gonna be hurt. He's not thinking about the woman. And women, let that be a lesson to you again. Men, when complications like I'm in love with your wife or I'm in love with your girlfriend come, they do actually concern over how the guy's gonna feel when he out to be stealing a lady, if he feels strongly enough for her. A lot of times guys won't easily steal a man's wife if at all this man is their boy, like impinchi, unless there's like hard knock strong feelings and the guy cannot ignore them. If he cannot ignore my feelings, why I care, if it's not just a case of and so I want to hit that, he's not gonna mess with his boy's girl, like I said, unless there's lots of love there involved. So however, he won't even care. A man won't even care if at all he falls in love with his girlfriend's best friend. For him, as in, I'm a hunter. and I'ma pounce and I'ma get mine. So whether he causes division between two women is irrelevant, because if you want Skarabo, Patricia, Matisha, listen, she makes out with me, I make out with her, but it's never been too deep, it's never been too serious. It's not like I'm trying to hang over there. So what? But I don't like her all that much. That's how it is with guys. He does not mind sowing discord between sisters. Listen, men, I have been hollered at by a boyfriend of my sister's before, an ex-boyfriend. I have been hollered at by one of my friends' guys one time when we were being dropped off at home and I was being dropped off last one. For them, it's like, you're my little secret. That's how we should keep it. No one has to know. And he is prepared to literally rock up a jardini. I thought that weird, though. Weird. I have been hollered at by my dad's friend. Last year, and everybody's feeling betrayed, and now he's picking you up. It's like the taboo deal. It just so happens that my history is his, but you will barely ever find that kind of taboo amidst men. So they will protect their boys' feelings. They will try anyway. And if there's strong feelings, if below eating, a guy will break his boy's heart to get a girl. But if it's just about he's not gonna mess with that. He's not gonna mess with that. It takes a lot for guys to shatter relations between friends. That's what I'm getting at. Like, my ex-boyfriend had this one friend that had big fat feelings for me. And he felt like, why didn't I meet her first? Because she lived in my hood. But he never ever tried to go in for the kill, because I'm not going to respond appropriately to what I'm not going to respond in kind. Like, it's going to offend me. But also, it was about his friend. So we decided fella because he just resented watching us together. Looking at us, Joel. So why decided our relationship to break up, so he doesn't have to deal with watching us just do whatever and be together, right? That was one of my friend's boys. And then there was this one guy that Mamela, he met me first. We were in primary school together. He is my official first love. He's the first guy that I ever loved, but I was never with him, right? And went to separate high schools. I found out when I was in high school that he had feelings for me. I was chuffed, but I wasn't ready to start dating. I told you, I made a decision as a child that I'm only gonna start dating when I'm 16. So I was too young for us to be together. Time progressed, we get to varsity first year. Hey, we go to the same university, bump into each other. Chemistry. Dude did not shoot his shot. And then a few years down the line from first year varsity, I then meet my boyfriend. A few years after that date, I meet a boyfriend. I meet a guy that becomes my boyfriend. And then, lo and behold, a few weeks down the line from us starting to date, I then find out that my friend / big fat chunky crush that had to die because he didn't shoot his shot is one of his boys. Or rather, he was one of my ex-boyfriend's brother's boys. But then because they were so close in age together, every so often they hung out together, so frankly it was my ex-boyfriend's friend too. Here's this guy that I met first in primary school. I liked him, I would have dated him, we might have even gotten married. He didn't shoot his shot. The guy was head over heels in love with me, and at some point I was frankly head over heels in love with him too. But I was now with a new guy, and this guy brewed and stewed 4 years until he decided that I can't take it anymore. Wangi tagata to obscurity. But did he ever holla? No. Did he ever try to holla? No. It was about boy code. He knew. Did he know how I felt about it? No, he knew, man. I suka. About this guy. The feelings were reciprocal. He just did not shoot his shot. He did not shoot his shot. And so because he didn't shoot his shot, we sort of kind of missed each other escape type establishment thing. Alright, very well. But he never ever tried to do anything because guys are like that. But I kid you not, if the roles were reversed, where it is that I was friends, if the roles were reversed, where it is that where the roles were reversed, where it is that he was the one that dated somebody and that dated somebody that was my friend. If the roles were reversed, where it is that he dated someone that was my friend, and then one day my friend introduces me to her boyfriend, and it's like, this is, let's say his name was Fusiso. This is Fusiso, my boyfriend. And I'm like, man, you don't need to introduce me to this guy. We went to primary school together. I know him. Yeah, kick him bench like from long ago. It's old time sake. What's up? What's good, boy? Like, yeah, nice to see you. Oh, you guys are dating. What a small world. If the roles were reversed when my girl introduced me to this guy, I kid you not, that dude would have been like, yo, but Karabo, it's always been you. Oh, not long confuser. On some, yo, but I mean, it's always been you. We were hanging like primary school. Your friend only came like just the other day, and frankly, if I knew she was your girl, I wouldn't have hit on her. And men are willing to break up friendships with women like that. They will holla at you. If the roles were reversed, if at all, like for instance, if like the one Wakos Rubens Valley, if at all the roles were reversed and he was dating my friend and then met me, he would have said, you live in my hood, you're closer to me even than your friend who lives all the way in the south of Johannesburg. I don't know why I didn't meet you first, but come on, you can't tell me that you don't feel the chemistry. If the roles were reversed, if it was rather me that was the friend of his girlfriend, he was going to just go in for the kill. But because it was his boy's girl, they don't go in for the kill. They have respect for each other, but they don't care if they destroy women's reputations, which is why I keep on saying, women, y'all need to protect y'all's own reputation. Don't let yourself date your ex-boyfriend's uncle, because he thoroughly will hit on you. When he sees you in the mall, and he's like, but it's been 7 years since you and Sizwe broke up. And then next thing you be walking up with Jaga thing and they're like, oh my goodness, didn't this chick date Sizwe? And now she's dating Malume Sizwe. She's dating Malume Brian. They will humiliate women. And you'll be thinking I'm in love and I'm protected. But this man will not protect your reputation. So you as a woman need to have enough discretion in your mind not to date a guy that was dating one of your friends. And you also have to have enough discretion to ignore whatever feelings you might have for a dude where it's entirely inappropriate, because you will rock up somewhere and they will call you the whore of the minute. And I've done a video of that nature before. I have absolutely done a video of that nature before. They're willing to do that. So they can break women up, but in and of themselves, they're not prepared to do that. And that's what under heaven it is that happened when I was just a kid, and I capitulated to it because I was yet to learn life lessons. I capitulated because I was yet to discover what life is really about and how men really function. So here is this guy that frankly is like, okay, I meant Patricia first, but I like Karabo, and it was of such little essence to him that Patricia was here first. It mattered so little. Like it's like it was nothing. To him, it was absolutely nothing that Patricia was a thing. And because I liked him and because it appeared normal and moral to him, because the heart wants what the heart wants, I ran with it. Yo, I ran with it. Listen, y'all, I ran with it. Yo, I ran with it. Like, you know, when a situation is serious, it's serious. But if people in the encircling environment are cavalier pertaining the serious thing, you will literally let a person that has just been hit by a car bleed out on the side of the street and not call an ambulance. If people do not appropriately respond to a serious situation, there will be, 1 second, hi, my cat is fighting another cat on a roof. To break up a cat fight. Anyway, let's just hope that the cat will be fine. Anyway, listen, when a situation is dire, but people are acting like it's not dire, by mere virtue of psychology, you will think it's nothing. If a person got hit by a car on the side of the street and nobody's screaming, nobody's panicking, nobody's calling the ambulance, and they're just lying there, you will look at everybody's reaction and be inclined in and of yourself to just walk right by. You will be inclined in and of yourself to not call the emergency responders. You will be inclined in and of yourself to not appropriately respond. And the way that my cousin and Spiwe, is it Spiwe? I said his name was Spiwe. My cousin and Spiwe, the way that this ecosystem, these two, and everybody else acted like, listen, if he wants you, he wants you, he wants you. At the expense of, Patricia's heart, the way that Patricia's heart was of such little essence to everyone. Now me, even though this here was taboo deep down inside in my own heart, remember I said, children, you've got your own consciences. Even though I knew it was taboo, I nonetheless was like, but nobody else appears to think it's taboo. So I ran with it. Unless you run with that which you know is the truth, according to God's word in Matthew 24, in the last days, there will be an increase in lawlessness, and so therefore the love of many will grow cold. People will be so lawless that nobody will love anymore. Nobody will appropriately respond. Nobody will emergency respond. Nobody will bandage a wound. Nobody will respond to somebody's cries on a rooftop. If enough people silence treat a screaming woman like I've been silence treated for years, everybody will walk by a relatively serious situation like it's nothing until a person is dead. I have endured, well, the level of I'm sorry the level of apathy that we harassed Patricia with pertaining her scorn in that like love triangle is the exact same apathy that I'm being lambasted with. So I guess I'm reaping what I sowed. Nami, I just went just cold as ice. I went cold as ice, even though I entered into that space initially with a deep conviction that, but like, Patricia? And when my cousin was like, ay, Patricia is also your cousin. How not about Patricia? Girl, you the one that I like. Yeah, baby, you the best. She be out just singing me Pinaya Drake. Baby, you the best. Or like a little Wayne. She was like, baby, you the best. My cousin proper out here awarded me favor at the expense of someone else. Little did I know that one day in the future, other people would be awarded future at my expense, even though I'm the innocent one, even though I'm the Patricia. Even though yimi ofigela nakala. At least protect Patricia's heart. You don't get to be Garabo, the one that braced Patricia. If some other woman decides, because this guy has no self-control and issue, if some other woman decides to steal him from Patricia, that's on her. Your conscience must be clear pertaining Patricia. I know, everybody else ignoring this made me also be like, yo, but the heart wants what the heart wants. I would have gone to hell. If I had died that moment, if I had gotten hit by a bus, if I had gotten in a taxi accident, listen, I would have gone to hell. Telling myself, yeah, hey, one thing you want to wait. Your heart wants what you want. Your heart wants what your heart wants. Yeah, my story is your story. Nina any jonja daughter. Nina that sing women, woman to woman. Luna that tell yourselves, "Ore, kita yetsang marajabu hasetse ali mopila, ali mohoto, ili wonderful." Kita reng nna ha ke mo rata hore. I'm gonna divorce my husband because I love my colleague. Yeah, until you're on the receiving end, until you're Patricia. I'm Patricia today. Hey, people are doing whatever they want with me, and yo, baby, you the best. They're singing baby, you the best to each other. I turned down at my expense, and now I'm dying, alone, and bereft and broken. Umona, wanja, magot. And because of your heart wants what the heart wants, hey, that I like, I'm a married man, we get it, girl. But my heart wants what the heart wants, except I don't want you back, bruh. Like, go back. Yeah, but my heart wants what your heart wants. I'm finally gonna get it. You're finally gonna get it? Mamelang. Consequences, ramifications, repercussions, they're a thing. Honey, they're a thing. Anyway, I went cold as ice and I said my heart wanted spew it. Like I did. Like I was like, I'm taking it. Like, not really, not first. I dated Kabelo. I did. Kabelo was my first ever boyfriend. I let myself date him because of peer pressure. Everybody was like, you guys look good together. And even Spiwe said, he's my boy, go. He didn't send me on him or whatever, but he was kind of like chill with me dating Spiwe, especially considering when we first met, he was busy with Patricia. But then the school holidays ended. But before the school holidays ended, we dropped off my cousins. Out of all those guys, some of them had cars, and some of them lived in Spruitview. Because you all know that Leondale and Spruitview are separated by like a road, a highway or whatever, a bridge, okay? Yeah, some of the guys stayed in Spruitview, and so one of the days, we went, before we went, we were dropped off. We could never get dropped off near Moto. We were gonna get trapat, kamaranta. But there was a day when we dropped off my cousin's boyfriend, Pohabona. And that's the only reason I knew where he stayed. For the better majority, we were hanging out in Leondale, not Spruitview. For the better majority, we were in Leondale and not Spruitview. And one of the days, we went to go and drop off. The boyfriend, go Habona, where he stayed. And then we went back to the side of Leondale, and my cousin, how I think she met the guy in her high school where she used to attend. She used to be friends with this one girl that stayed in Spruitview. And one time during that whole holiday, we went to Habona. One of the days when we were in Spruitview, and where this chick stayed, Spruitview was not far. Like, it was kind of like a walking distance from where my cousin's boyfriend stayed. But I'd never been inside the house where my cousin's boyfriend stayed. I'd only ever been from the outside, and his house was quite unique in that and it had like an arched structure, like one of them, those arched, like it was, yeah, one of those arched like entrances or back door type establishment thing. And based on that, I was able to identify it. I was able to identify it at night, but I'd never been inside. We'd only ever dropped them off and visited opposite inside everything and had juice and pizza. The friend that my cousin used to go, the friend that my cousin used to go to high school with, one time, and she did not live very far from where this guy was at. And I do believe, like I said, that's how my cousin met these guys. She did not meet them. She did not meet this guy. She did not meet this guy through Patricia. Patricia just so happened to stay in this hood, and that's why my cousin insisted that we go visit on one holiday. So anyway, I had to highlight that one of the days we went to go and drop off her boyfriend, because this whole location of where he stays ties into this whole entire story. So finally the holidays end, and I give my number to this guy. My landline and everything. Was it landline or cell phones? I think I might have had a cell. I think it was a cell phone. Maybe landline. Back then, you know, it was a whole thing for people to not have cell phones. I give my number to Cabello, and I agreed to date Cabello because I'm 16 and I've never been kissed, and I was like, whatever. I didn't have feelings for this guy. I don't know what I was doing. I've been with 2 guys in my life before that I didn't have feelings for, and it was just excruciating to be with them. And I felt I was unhappy, but I was very selfish. I didn't even care for their feelings per se. Like I was so I was not the best of people. Like I kid you not. You know, when the Holy Spirit moves in, he really does change your character. He does. He makes you a new creation. I can't say that I was guilty. Like I literally wasn't. Especially with Cabello. I only felt guilty about what I did to Cabello after getting born again. Could I? As I got older, Mamela, if I fell in love with another guy, I would have had an affair. I'm certain of it. And what my husband would have been feeling, I probably would have been like, the hot ones and the hot ones. While I could never fathom myself cheating when I was dating, because I dated my ex-boyfriend Nang Faraza, the one that I dated for 5 years, and I was always threatening him in my heart, not to his face, with one day I'm gonna leave you for someone else. But I could never ever actually like cheat on him. I never cheated on him. It never ever like crossed me. I was willing to leave him for someone else, but I was never gonna actually make out, kiss, and I'll just have like a whole full-fledged relationship with another guy, sleep with another guy. I could never do that. Mara, the way Nang Fraza got there, I would have felt trapped in a marriage. And so thanks to feeling trapped, Linyalo was gonna make me do that. It was gonna worsen me. Sin is like a cancer. It metastasizes and it gets worse over time. A person rots over the years, so that which they could never fathom doing in their earlier years, they end up easily gliding in it later on. It's a cancer, and towards my redemption, I saw the cancer spreading. I started to become a little bit more profane on my tongue, even though I started out not swearing too much in the beginning of my life. I started being a little bit more, I started being willing to accommodate watching porn, whereas in the beginning, I frowned on it. I actually frowned on pornography. I thought it was so nasty. But then I got to a point where towards the end of my reign of terror as a worldling, I watched pornography, and one time even with my boyfriend. Yeah, there was a time when I was like, I could never. Like there was this one boy that brought Hasla magazine, Goskolong in primary, and we were like, oh, he's so disgusting. I could never gaze at such things. But towards the end, and then also just in terms of like before I stopped drinking, I would allow myself to get drunk irresponsibly, like just like horribly, just terribly drunk, in a way that I would never allow myself to consume that much alcohol before. And it started to become kind of taxing, you know what I mean? The way that I would allow myself and type setup, like by the time I came to Christ, I had already stopped drinking. But what I'm trying to get at is that over the years, things that were just, you know, I was apprehensive about in the beginning, I just got looser and looser in my inhibitions concerning them. So those of y'all that are my age, like 40s, like, are you just not a metastasized cancer? Are you not like a stage 4 or whatever at this point? Because moral turpitude, like it spreads like a gangrene, y'all. And you just become worse and worse over time, that even though you were not willing to cheat on your boyfriend, listen, you will cheat on your husband, especially considering marriage feels like a trap when you're not in love or when you are frustrated. And because I was already frustrated with my boyfriend, if I had married him, I'm almost certain that I would have cheated. Because, listen, cancer. spreading out here, getting to vital organs, ending a life and everything. Things I was not prepared to do. I would have ultimately found myself being prepared to do it. I also would not have been with a married man before. But when you get married and you feel trapped in your marriage, more so are you willing to get a linyetse, and then you allow yourself to have an affair with another married person. Or sometimes it's our little secret. We don't have to leave our people respectively. It's just for a night of fun. Things like hooking up and jeffela for the night, where you would never do that on the come up because you wanted to be loved and cherished and feel like you're in your own ensconced relationship. Now when you feel bored and tired with a husband, are you not then now willing to just have a night of fun with one guy just to get a rush? I don't know. All I know is that redemption stopped some kind of a metastasizing cancer in my bones because I was able to observe it like proper. I observed my own moral failings in increasing measure as time progressed. So listen, I'm not judging you for being so loose today as an older person, because I was en route to being exactly what you are. The only thing that stopped it was redemption. I got born again. It stopped a spreading cancer. I was becoming Mtonyana before I got born again. I was thoroughly becoming Mtonyana. I got born again at just 26 and a half. And already at that stage, I was becoming Mtonyana. That's young. 26 is young. So what the heck would I have been at 30, 35, 40? Namhlanje, maybe I'd be having a whole full-fledged 100% incendiary affair with another married guy. Like, as a married woman, I would have probably been cheating on my husband with a married man and claiming that I'm going on a business trip, kante. It's something different, very intense, or maybe it is a business trip and the person with whom I'm doing these strange things is my colleague, like that CEO, Ole, and his HR executive found on a kiss cam go Coldplay. I might have been that, like proper. From what the Lord is showing me, so many of my peers are in marital unfaithfulness. It's out of this world. It's astronomical. It is astronomical. A whole chunk of my former friends, they're on a kiss cam, except theirs is not there. At a Coldplay concert with their bosses as HR execs. Like, listen, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I got born again. So hallelujah. Thank the Lord for stopping the cancer from spreading. I'm in remission. Amen. Listen, amen. Mamelang, hallelujah. Okay, it's like a thing anyway. So herein lies this crazy cancerous lady called Cranky. As a teenage little girl, nothing of me innocent over there, just nothing but gnarly, monstrous, like pussy, athlete's foot, gangrene spreading. I date Bello, but I didn't love him. I didn't even like him. But Gabelo was just like entirely enamored with me. Unangata Shem, that guy, I only feel bad because I'm born again. And still to this day, I think about it and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? What was wrong? Why did I do that? Because he was so sweet. And that's just the thing. All the guys that would have been really good to me, I treated so badly. No, I didn't treat badly. Next time I next. That, you know that saying, good guys finish last? Kabelo was a good guy and he finished absolutely last. That guy loved me with so much abandon that years later he still tried every time he would see me somewhere to get me back. So here in lies Garabo, I give Kabelo my number and Kabelo and I date. And one time I go see him, go where he stays. And that was the first time I ever kissed, right? Yeah. So Kabelo was my first kiss type establishment thing. And yeah, alright. And when I was there with him, oh, Spew was there. And I saw Spew. I was like, hi, Spew. Hi, how are you? And it was so awkward. I was there with my boyfriend. He was my first boyfriend and my first kiss. Yeah, that was the first and last time that I saw him. No, it was the not the first and last, but it was the first time I hung out with him, like in the Gasi there, but it was the last time I would ever hang out with him in the Gasi. The next time that I would see him was at Gandhi Square. You see, Gandhi Square, I let myself go there. My cousin and I met them. Go fella as his scheme, go Gandhi Square. I was in my school uniform, my cousin was in her school uniform. We made an arrangement to meet. Like Papa, I went to Gandhi Square. Why did I go there? I didn't need to. I didn't need to go to Gandhi Square. I think I think going home for me at that stage, where were we staying? In Ridgeway, for crying out loud. I didn't need to go to no Gandhi Square. I was a walking distance from my school. I get it. We stayed. Remember, we first stayed at Winchester, and then Alberton, and then Ridgeway, and then another place in Ridgeway, and then Naturina. Like my mom was very nomadic, okay, and then ultimately Alberton, and we just moved a lot. And when my grandmother passed away, when we were in grade 10 or 11, that's when then my uncle moved to Tladi to inherit that house, and then we moved into their house in Naturina. So ultimately I would live in Naturina, and when I was in Naturina I was Piwe. I was with Piwe. So at the stage I was staying in Ridgeway. I'm staying in Ridgeway. Ridgeway is a literal walking distance from my high school. It's a walking distance. I did not need to go to Gandhi Square. No papa, oh papa. You know, like I feel like students used to just go there, to go and kiss and make out and find boys and rap and whatnot. Like proper. I did not need to commute anywhere. So when I got on a taxi to go to Gandhi Square, I was just going to go and meet a bunch of cute guys. And he was there. Mamela, I'm dating Cabello, right? First ever boyfriend. I'm 16 years old, and every single day, every day, I talk with Cabello on the phone. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I talk with Cabello on the phone, but we have a very short conversation. And after talking with Cabello, you know the saying, save the best for last. Saving forever for you, baby. You are the only one. Everton. I would then get on the phone afterwards. No, and the two of us were duping each other into believing. We knew we were lying to each other, to ourselves. We were duping each other into into stuff like we're friends. Yeah, I would call him or something. Hey, how are you doing? My friend. What the heck? We knew that we liked each other. We missed each other. We spoke every day. I spoke every day with Cabello, but I also spoke every day with Piwe. And I would start the day talking, like the evening after school, like 7, I would talk with Ulonduza, with Ukabelo, who was my boyfriend, and then I would end the night talking on the phone like we some friends or whatever with Piwe. And I knew, and we both knew, Piwe and I both knew what in the world was going on over there, but we both made a decision to just deceive each other. And how like us exchanging numbers was a decision we made already. The first time I know the holidays ended, they exchanged our numbers, and like proper, we made a decision to exchange numbers, apparently and literally because we're still friends. We're just friends. I've never believed in platonic relationships between men and women. I knew that even as a teenage girl, and here it is that I was out here with a friend on the phone. Whatever, Garabo. Okay, listen, absolutely whatever. Mamela girl, whatever. Yeah, I told anyway, eventually I tells Piwe that listen, I don't have feelings for Cabello, and I don't know how to tell him, and I said I don't have feelings for him. I'm gonna leave him. I told him that I'm gonna leave him, and I told, who is this? I told Piwe that I'm going to leave Cabello. He's like, oh, but he's gonna be so hurt. He's like, oh, but he's gonna be so hurt. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't have feelings for him. And you know, it is what it is though. It is what it is though. And then listen to this. On the day when I broke up with Shame, I feel bad now that I'm in Christ. Yes, like it, yo. But at that stage I felt nothing. I guess I can understand now why people can leave people entirely devastated and just bereft for other people, and like not bat an eyelid and say the heart wants what the heart wants. The shallowness and the emptiness and the selfishness and the feelinglessness that comes with being in the world, having been calloused over years. Yes, like it, y'all, it's a whole thing. I broke up with that guy on his birthday. I call him, I wish him happy birthday, and I'm like, but this can't work. I literally dumped him on the phone. Y'all. His 19th birthday. I dumped him on his 19th birthday. I feel so trashy now today that I think about it, but back then for me it was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't have feelings for you. Yeah, I just said, yo, that guy, he used to speak things like, he used to talk about the future, about Inkomo, that he was gonna like take out Ilobola for me, like, hey y'all, I'm pretty sure that guy was gonna wait for me to matriculate and then propose marriage. The way Nangataga thing. And I dumped him on the phone. I broke up with him on the phone on his birthday, and I don't know. Yeah, anyway, on the day when I saw him go Gandhi Square, he told me he loved me. Like he wrote it on his hand and showed me his hand. I love you. And I was like, I can't reciprocate. I can't say I love you too. I can't. I didn't want to lie to him. And he ended up taking a walk, and then his friend asked me, what did you say to Cabello? I was like, he told me he loved me and I couldn't reciprocate. And he was like, oh yeah, because I can tell he is upset, because usually when he's upset he takes a walk. So he knew his friend well enough, and yet he let that whole thing happen. Anyway, the whole Gandhi Square incident was before we broke up, and now I broke up with him on the phone. And on the same day that I broke up with him, I called Spiwe and I told him I broke up with Kabelo. And he was like, oh, but it's his birthday. My point exactly. He knew it was his boy's. He was like, you broke up with him on his birthday? Oh my goodness. That sucks. Yeah, but we didn't stop talking. And after we broke up, yeah, then Spiwe started calling me on some, you do know that I've always liked you. I opened the Louvre for this guy, Tahala, and then Ulonduza, Uspiwe then started telling me, listen, I've got strong feelings for you. I've always had strong feelings for you. And even though this is taboo and it's whack and it's weird, it's you. It's always been you. And so we started dating, and it was taboo, but I didn't care. And the weird thing is that the entire time when I was with Spiwe, strangely, the whole time when I was with Spiwe, strangely, I didn't bump into. We didn't see him. Ulonduza, Ukabelo, he was not around. Maybe he knew, he heard, I was unsure as to how he would react upon seeing us together, but he never saw us together. If anything, for the larger majority, Uspiwe used to come and visit me. And when my grandmother passed away, we moved to Naturina, and that's where it is that Uspiwe would then visit me a whole chunk. And Spiwe was my first love that I dated. My first love that I didn't date is the guy that I told you about from primary school. And then the one that I did date, this was this guy, and this is the guy that took my virginity. So I mean, just imagine you go to a holiday, you go on a holiday to a hood, and you in as a virgin, an academic, a whole everything. And by the time 2 years is over in that environment, you not only have had sex, but you have betrayed a guy, you have dated a guy and left him for his friend, and then his friend takes your virginity. Like, what happened over there? What in the world happened? You remember the thing that I said about the first guy? Remember the boyfriend of my cousin with the car? Yeah. How it is that he was like, you're looking good, you're growing. He says of me that I'm growing. Basically saying that you're looking good. You're no longer the little girl that everybody be out there looking at anymore. So now, right? Yeah, that guy saw me and imagined that I look good, in front of another woman, another girl, another chick that was also there about to get her heart nice and broken. They're willing to, after women have essentially degraded themselves with them, they're willing to look at the fresh, virgin, innocent thing in the room and massacre it at the expense of other women. What I'm facing today is a similar epidemic of the past, but this time around I am resistant because I'm born again. Where it is that I'm the new girl that comes into an ecosystem with a freshness, with an innocence, with a virtue, with a chastity that is coming into this ecosystem amidst women that have been spent, that have been used, that I've been mowed under. I was the virgin amidst girls that were having sex. I was the unkissed girl amidst girls that were making out in passages of houses. I come in there and a guy looks at me and is like, I want her, in spite of him busy making out with some other girl. And I don't even know if they were sleeping together. I just know that they were kissing, right? And then the guy says, I want her. And the man that is single, the guy that was single, able to essentially be responsible with a single woman, I didn't want him because he was not exciting and adventurous enough. But the one that was taken and the one that was out here trying to come between two women, two girls, that's the one that I wanted, and I didn't care. It wasn't by any means necessary. And for me, it was like my heart wanted what my heart wanted. And I broke the heart of an innocent man while running with a bad boy that saw a virgin and ditched the one that he'd been kissing all this time. I became the new girl in school, and the guys forgot about all the other girls that had been in school all this time. And because of the immorality of my cousin, other women were like, listen, the heart wants what the heart wants. People are just gonna go and get what they want. People are just gonna go and do what they want in these ecosystems. So if the guy wants you, frankly, I favor you, girl, baby, you the best. So because you're the best, I'm gonna stand with you because you're the one, you're the cousin I like the most. It might have been that my cousin favored me the most, or she was just sick and tired of roaming around as a little girl having sex and kissing the boys and making them cry, while I was the virgin that was untouched. So maybe she wanted me to get touched, and so she wanted me to date, or maybe she liked me more. I don't know. She probably liked me more too. So for those reasons, my cousin out here facilitated a union between a guy that was frankly banned. In my eyes, he was forbidden. He ought to have been. I had a conscience to understand that he was forbidden, but everybody acted like this was nothing. So I allowed myself to have a tryst as a virgin that had never been kissed with a guy, for crying out loud, that was actively making out and pushing something with a woman, a girl that was my friend and my cousin's cousin. Listen, that was my history. I did that as a kid. I got born again. And now that generational curse, that demon, that entity, that thing that caused all that is trying to make me repeat volume 2.0, where it is that I'm gonna have no regard for whatever woman I might have found a guy with.